ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यं। I have muted everyone. Okay. So in the previous class, we were looking at the verse Shuchau Deshe Pratisthapya Sthiramasanam Atmanaha. Where should I sit for meditation? What is the place to be chosen for meditation? So having arranged one's asanam, Shuchau Deshe, in a clean place and making sure it is Sthiram Asanam and na Ati Uchritam, that is not too high, na Ati Nicham, not too low. And the asanam is made of what? A soft piece of cloth, chaila, and then ajina, skin, and kusha. Kusha means a grass. So you first place the grass and then you place the mat and then the skin and then the soft cloth. So you have to make sure the asanam is also soft. So you place the skin in the middle. Having arranged one seat for meditation, Pratishtapya. So the verse also is not complete. Pratishtapya. So it continues in the next verse. Bhagavan says, having arranged one's seat of meditation, what is to be done? Should we do next? What is to be done next? Tatra ekagram manakritva yata chittendriya kriyaha upavishyasane yujyat yogam atma vishuddhaye. So tatra on that asana, upavishya, sitting on that asana, manaha ekagram kritva, having with your one-pointedness, being absorbed in whatever you have chosen as the object of meditation, being engrossed in it, absorbed in it. Yata chitta indriya kriyaha, one whose mind, chitta and indriya, all the senses are mastered. Okay. So you may wonder, what, ma'am, I have not yet mastered my indriyas, so I'm not fit to sit for meditation. No, not like that. Everything comes only by practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Remember that. Okay, abhyasa is very, very important. Yata chittendriya kriyaha. So why should I do this meditation? Atma vishuddhaye, for the purification of mind. May yogam yujyat, may one practice meditation. So the purpose of meditation, remember the subject is purpose of prayer, and within prayer we are talking about dhyanam. So it is only for the purification of the mind. May one practice. And what is to be practiced? Meditation, yoga. Why? For steadiness and purification of mind alone. That alone is the purpose of meditation, Atma Vishuddhaye, and not for anything else. So that is the purpose of Dhyana. Atma Jnana Prapti is possible. Why Bhagavan is talking about, see, I am quoting the verse from Bhagavad Gita. And what is Bhagavad Gita about? Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Upanishads. What does the Upanishad talk about? It talks about Atma Jnana. So Bhagavan's focus is only on Atma Jnanam. And for Atma Jnanam, Antakarna Shuddhi is absolutely important. So Antakarna Shuddhi, that is Dhyanam, is a means for Atma Jnana. So just by sitting in meditation, you don't get self-realization. Meditation only helps you to have the type of mind which is necessary for understanding the teaching, whatever the Guru teaches and whatever the Shastra is revealing to you. So for that you need to have the patram has to be the patram, right? We say deserving, only in the deserving. Like if fire, if coal is being offered, okay, the burning coal is being offered, you can't receive it on a piece of paper, right? So whatever is being received, whatever is being given to you, based on that you should be deserving to qualified to receive it, right? So whatever you are going to receive, you should be qualified, the mind, because you receive only through the mind, hence the importance is given to the mind. So this is how the mind should be. It should be Shuddha. Only in a Shuddha Antakarna, Atma Jnanam is possible. Forget about Atma Jnanam, anything. Even any dharma, anything that is being spoken about, any values, all these things are possible only when the mind is at leisure. If the mind is not at leisure, you can keep listening to the same thing again and again and again and again, but still without any impact, without any halan. So the mind is a very important instrument without which a person cannot grow, a person cannot improve, a person cannot mature. So one has to take care of one's mind. All that pedicure, manicure, facial, and scrubbing and all, which is being done for the physical, has to be done for the mind also. Mind also needs all this. In fact, it is the mind which needs all this. So, Atma Jnana Pratyarthameva Dhyanam. So, Atma Vicharartham. Atma Vichara means asking the fundamental questions like who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Have I understood myself properly? Because I see myself, identify myself with the body. The body goes. Does it mean and the body goes, I also go? Okay, if you say the Sukshma Sharira is there and it takes another body, how long? How many times? What body do I get? And how long I'm going to do this again and again? So all these vichara. For all these vichara, the answer is only in the Upanishads, in the Shastra. And it is not going to be very simple, right? It is going to change the whole perception of whatever you have been thinking about yourself and about the world. Which means you have to be prepared, you have to be open-minded, you have to have certain qualities. So in order to understand oneself, to understand the nature of oneself, Atma Shuddhi means Antakarna Shuddhi is very important. So here Atma Shuddhi means not, Atma refers to mind. Okay, Atma doesn't refer to this Jivatma Paramatma mind, but Atma. I think I mentioned about this last class also. So this is the reason why one should not study Shastra by oneself. Because in certain contexts, the meaning will be different. If you start studying the English translation, or even if you know the language, Sanskrit, if you study on your own, you won't be able to get the actual meaning of the verse or meaning of the word. So you always need a guru. Of course, if you know Sanskritam and you read directly the Bhashyam, definitely it is much better than reading the English translation. But even with all the commentaries and tika and tippani and all that, you still need a guru. Because if you miss even understanding, let us say one understand that Atma Vishuddha means Atma has to be cleansed, then that's whatever you study after that is not going to help you in any way. So because Atma is Nitya Shuddha, that is the definition. That is how Shastra talks about Atma. Atma is Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Mukta also, Nitya Buddha also. So here Atma Vishuddhaye means only the mind. Mind is also referred to as Atma. Antakarana, Karana, instrument, which I think I have explained this. So why the mind needs to be purified? See, whatever I'm going to say today may sound like I'm repeating again, but sometimes repetition helps. It may sound, but I'm not going to say exactly whatever I told you in the previous class, but since the subject is such, it will repeat again. So why the mind needs to be purified? Why do we say Atma Vishuddhi? Vishuddhyattam? Does it mean everybody has a dirty mind which needs to be purified? In fact, the mind is pure only. Mind is pure only. We add ashuddhi to it. You understand? We add ashuddhi. People add ashuddhi to it. Mind is pure. Mind is shuddha. And that's why almost the word Atma fits there. Even though the mind is not Atma, we can say the word Atma is being used here to refer to mind because nature of the mind is achanchalam, chalam, astiram and all that is fine. But it is pure only. It is shuddha only. So we add all those complications into our mind. It looks like the mind is not pure. It looks like the mind has a lot of pain. It looks like the mind, so that because there is a lot of klesha, uh, kashaya, that's what the word is, kashaya. And the cause of all this uh, pain and burden, what is the cause for all this? It's one's own ragadvesha, one's own personal binding likes and dislikes. Everybody has likes and dislikes, right? I like tea, I like coffee. So it's almost like preference. I love jackfruit. You can say, I love lychee fruit. You can say, I love mangoes. You can have preferences. These likes and dislikes are not binding. So Bhagwan is only talking about likes and dislikes which are binding. Okay? Even that's why desires by themselves are not a problem. If the desire is binding, then it becomes a problem for oneself. So desire, raga dvesha, I like, I don't like, it's not a problem. But if it is binding you, then it is a problem. So the whole of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spends a lot of time in discussing about raga dvesha. Tayorna vashama agachet, kaunasya paripamkino. Like this, Bhagavan talks a lot about the dvandvas, how you should accept the dvandvas. If you don't accept the dvandvas, what will happen? He goes into details about ragadvesha. In second chapter, then he talks a lot about it. So these ragadveshas and the byproducts of ragadveshas. What is the byproduct of ragadvesha? Krodha, anger is there. You know, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All these are byproducts of one's own personal binding likes and dislikes. Anger. Okay. Kama, when we say, it only means binding desires. Okay. Not just any desire. Every desire doesn't bind you. There are certain desires which bind you, which leads to sukha, dukkha, krodha. You know, kamat sanjayate. From kama, sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho vijayate. So the first is sangha. You get associated with something and then only desire comes. Because desire is possible only for what you know, not for unknown things. So you know about something, then you have a sangha. You get associated with it, and then you have a desire for it. And then what happens when the desire is not fulfilled, or if in the process of fulfilling your desire, if there is any obstruction, somebody comes between, you get very angry. So that krodha is there. Shades of anger. Okay, anger has various shades, degrees of anger. Then greed, lobha. So everybody will say, no, no, I'm not greedy, I'm not angry, and all that. Greed need not be that angry. It's a bit of greed, you know, wanting to uh, take more than what you actually require, you need, is greed. Simple. Then delusion. That's moha. Moha is attachment to something. It binds you. Anything that you desire for and you want it, then it really binds you. So there is a delusion. You are attached to it. Then comes mada. Mada is pride, too much of pride, too much of arrogance, thinking too much about oneself, you know, that individuality. It's mada. Then matsarya is jealousy. Jealousy is where, again, it has various shades. That even the thought that they have it and I don't have it, you know, um, there is a shade of jealousy in that. See, even a very slight shade of all those, whatever is above, we mentioned above, is an abstraction. It is an abstraction alone. This will not allow you to see the reality of things. When you have kama, krodha, lobha, moha, matsarya, then your drishti is covered, right? You don't see things as they are. Either you see through anger, you see through greed, you see through. See, every time your vision, the way you look at things changes depending on whether you're looking it through jealousy or greed or anger or delusion. So it covers your perception. Your whole perception changes. Usually, at home, what happens? Children will complain, right, to their mothers. If you have two children, we have one, it's different, but you have two or more children. I can't say more also. Nowadays, very bad. Everybody has only two, and the most worst is only who says only one. It's very bad. Usually children complain to their mothers saying, Ma, you are very partial, you like her only, you like him only, whatever. This is very common. And what will the mother say? No, no, I love you both equally. For me, both of you like my two eyes. How can one eye, I can eat my one eye and all that. And all that dialogue will come. So recently one of my friends, uh, I won't say one of my friends, my only friend, she called me. And she used to talk to me regularly, and she has two daughters and one son. First two daughters, and the third son was born after a long gap. Okay, because they wanted a son and they prayed and prayed and prayed, and finally they got. for her son. She used to talk to me about her children, but mostly she will talk only about her daughters. She wouldn't talk much about her son. And especially the second daughter used to cause a lot of problem, a lot of trouble. And and the daughter has been a source of pain to her, a lot of pain. Because that girl, that child was very adamant and very arrogant and very disrespectful, not only towards her, towards everybody. Starting from childhood. Of course, now she's in college. So this recently, because of this corona, this child happened to be at home for almost 3 months. Okay, and she was her usual self. Usual self means what? Very arrogant, very disrespectful to everybody at home. And before leaving, something happened. Okay? She suddenly apologized, to her mother, and that is my friend. And she didn't say it verbally. She just wrote a letter. Okay, a beautiful letter which she read it out to me. It was very sweet, very sincere. Just reading that letter, those words, you see that the child has really, uh, she really meant every word of whatever she has written, and she was repenting, and she was feeling terribly sorry, and it looked as though that it was actually like she has realized that she has caused pain, you know. She has realized that her behavior has caused pain to everyone around her. And it was a beautiful letter. And my friend was reading it, very casually. And she has been praying for a transformation in this child. She wanted her to change. And everyday prayer, every time she calls me, she will say, Shreya, I want this girl to be an orphan. I'm exhausted, I'm tired. She keeps saying that. But this letter, such a beautiful letter, she mentioned very casually, Shreya, before leaving, she sent me an apology letter. I thought she'll be very happy, she'll be excited, she'll be grateful, she'll be relieved. I thought she'll be like jumping up and down, and uh, but she mentioned it very casually. Okay, and another important thing is this girl used to hate her brother, this child. Okay? She used to hate her brother, and she used to accuse her mother that you are being partial. You are very partial. You always love him only. But my friend kept telling her that, like, any mother would say, all are equal to me and all. All mothers say that. So she also said. So many days later, she was talking about her son. So this subject over after a few days, she was talking about her son, which she usually doesn't do in almost some 15 years. I think this is the third or fourth time she's talking about her son. He recently appeared for her 12th standard exam, and she asked me to pray. First time she's asking me, you pray for my son. Okay, like I want him to really do well. I said, okay, I'll read Sankalpa and all that. And meanwhile, somebody told her to pray to Lord Muruga. Okay, Muruga Peruman, to bless him to write the exam well. And the child was, and she was told, ask him to pray to Lord Muruga, and Muruga himself will write the exam for her. You don't worry. For him, you don't worry. The person had said. So before going for the exam, this my friend, she took him to the puja room and she told him, listen, you pray to Muruga, and Muruga will be there by you, by your side, and he himself will write the exam for you. Okay. And the child, very sweet child, has Shraddha, and he said yes. And he went and wrote the exam well. Okay, after that, Actually, this I came to know only later. She told me to pray and everything was over, and then she called me yesterday and we were talking for some time, and suddenly she said, Shivya, listen, he's gone back to US. I said, how did he write his exam? She said, oh, he's really happy, he's pleased, he did very well. And she told me about this Murga and all that, how she took him to the puja room. And Shivya, I want you to listen to this. So sweet. My son is so sweet. And he said, Amma, next time also when I write exam, will Murga be with me and write the exam? So sweet, no, so sweet, no. She went on and on. Then I said, you are such a partial mother. You love your son only. And she said, why are you saying that? I said, no, look, you have never spoken about your son so far. I have never asked you, nor you have discussed about your son much. But this one little incident, the way you're talking about your son, you never talk about your daughters. I said he wrote exam and he passed and he said, Amma, will Murga be next time with me and write the exam? Okay, it's innocent, sweet. But the way you say, I'm sure you are partial towards your son. And she said, no. And I said, no, you go through all those 15, 20 years. Go back and see how you treated your son and how you look at not treated, what bhavana you have towards your son and towards your daughter. And she laughed. And in that laugh itself, we know that the person has admitted, maybe the person didn't realize. And I also pointed out that she had every reason to be so happy about the daughter who realized. Isn't that so sweet for her to write and say sorry to everybody else? To her mother, to my friend, she wrote a letter. But to everybody else, she went and said sorry. You need really a lot of strength to say sorry to someone, right? Something to be appreciated. And why I'm saying all this, your own likes and dislikes, you may not know it. It really expresses in your relationship with people. Children sense it, the way you speak, the way you interact with the world. I'm just giving a small example, but generally people have many likes and dislikes. And it definitely interferes with the way you look at the world, how you look at people, how you look at relationships. So all this, it will affect. So these are obstructions in the mind. Sometimes people don't realize, sometimes people keep justifying things. Because generally nobody likes to see oneself as, even though you do something wrong, let us say even you're partial. Huh? You don't like to accept that because as a mother, you feel you're doing something wrong. So you will justify. No, you're just a child, no. The adult doesn't. She's grown up now. The elder one has grown up, no. Elder doesn't need attention. Little one, no. So you keep on uh, justifying many things. But you may have to look at yourself, how you are treating your own children, your siblings, your sisters, brothers, neighbors, friends, everyone. People do justify. These things are, some certain things are harmless, but certain things will definitely have its consequences later. So the abstractions have to be removed. When I say abstractions, I'm not talking about this one particular uh, thing with reference to children, but generally, the way you look at things. This removal of the abstractions of the mind is the goal of dhyana, the abstraction of raga dvesha. Okay? Kama krodha. Raga dvesha is the source. Then comes kama krodha lobha moha mada matsarya. So this abstraction is called pratibandha. Pratibandha in Shastra. Abstraction is pratibandha. And the removal of pratibandha is the goal of dhyanam. That is the goal of dhyanam. Pratibandha nivritti. It is called Pratibandha Nivritti, removal. And that's why Krishna says, may one practice meditation for Atma Shuddhaye, Atma Vishuddhaye. And to be free from Ragadvesha, from the hold of Ragadvesha, okay? Again, remember, Raga and Dvesha by itself is not a problem. If it holds you, if it controls you, if it is interfering in everything, whatever you say, you think, you do, then it is something that needs to be dealt with. So this Vishuddhi is also in terms of memories, Kashaya, which we discussed in the previous class about the subconscious. That is why I keep doing this forgiveness sessions, gratitude session. Even I did a uh, during the Mahalaya, I did a session to express your gratitude towards Pitras and say sorry to your ancestors, whatever is required. So these things are very, very important. I'm not sure how many really understand how important it is. Not everybody will give you these sessions so freely. I'm not saying I'm great because I'm giving free. I'm just saying that nowadays we get so many things free online. And sometimes we miss to recognize the importance or the greatness of whatever is being offered. Few of you really make maximum use of it. I can see from your feedbacks. And one has to make maximum use of the sessions to get the full benefit. So only when in a calm mind, even a clear thinking is possible. These disturbances will be there. Something which is like when a small dust is there in your eye, it's just small, right? But how it disturbs, you're not able to see clearly. uh, it it really covers everything. The whole thing changes. This small dust. But if it is in the eye, we notice it. But if it is in the mind, we think, oh, just some old thought. No, it really interferes. Only when you remove it one by one by one by one, you really know how peaceful you feel, how relaxed you feel. You will you will see that in few days. Your how relaxed your interactions are with people. You think, no, I'm angry with only that so and so person. I am upset with only that so and so person. But with other people, I'm relaxed only. That's not true. It will keep triggering. It will keep interfering. So one has to do because it's all in the same mind, right? It's all in the same place. It will definitely. So once you do these whatever meditations which I do during our meditation session, you'll see a deeper transformation within yourself. You'll feel light. First, you'll feel light, and it will reflect in your perception and interactions. So these kleshas are those memories or emotions which are not resolved. Some are known to you, some are not known to you, but at least the known ones you need to address. And they will keep coming up unexpectedly during, even while doing Shravanam, even while attending classes. Forget about meditation, even while attending class, thoughts do pop up. And also during meditation, it comes more, it's more. So these memories lie rooted deep under Dhrudavat and they surface suddenly. So the purpose of the meditation is to quieten the mind, and it is possible purely only through a prayerful meditation. So the meditation which we do that that is different. Then there is a prayerful meditation where uh, prayerful meditation is you meditate on Saguna Brahma Vishaya, on Ishvara. So that's why meditation also is of two types. One is Saguna Brahma Vishaya, one is Nirguna Brahma Vishaya. Nirguna Brahma Vishaya is when you study the Shastra. After that, it's a contemplation. It's not actually meditation, it's a contemplation. But Saguna Brahma Vishaya is a meditation where you have an object of meditation. But in this verse, what Bhagavan is talking about is you can take both as the subject, both contemplative dhyanam and Saguna Brahma Vishaya dhyanam. It includes. So what happens when thoughts pop up? One has to understand that they are only kashayas. And when you understand meditation properly, your thoughts will not frighten you. It won't disturb. Any thought comes, you feel disturbed, and that thought sometimes also you get frightened, like um, why these thoughts are there. Sometimes you wouldn't have noticed that such thoughts are there. You sometimes will be shocked to see the type of thoughts that come. So one has to understand meditation. What does understanding meditation mean? It means bringing the mind back. Okay, once you understand, okay, these thoughts are there, let it be there, but now I bring my mind back to whatever I want to meditate upon. Yato yato nischarati manaschanchala astiram tatastato niyamya etad atmanyeva vasham nayet. That is what Bhagavan says. You need not think you are disturbed. So when disturbing thoughts come, thoughts are disturbing, but I am not disturbed by the disturbing thoughts. You see the difference? I have disturbing thoughts, but I am not disturbed by those disturbing thoughts. So you just allow it to be. You just be a witness. So it is possible only when you be uh, remain as a witness. What does being a witness mean? What does remaining as a witness mean? So generally when we use the word witness, you always remember court. Okay. Or when you do some registration, you need someone to come and sign as a witness. Witness signature. You look for someone. Hey, you come put one signature here. You don't even know who that person. Generally, there will be 4 people just to sign witness signatures. Okay. So what is this witness? What is the definition of witness? The general definition of a witness is one who sees an event. That is the dictionary meaning. One who sees an event. Notice, one who sees an event. Only sees, doesn't participate. Okay? You are just an observer. A witness is only an observer. He sees coming, going. Generally, witness means in the court means only it's connected to crime. Okay? So I will use those words. He came, he took a knife, he stabbed, he went, he was crying, he was running, he was chasing. There was blood. You just, you're observing everything. You're not participating in the act. So even when the witness is asked to come to the court, you call a witness in the court and you say whatever you saw. If you say I think, or if you say maybe because, or if you say I saw the person taking the knife, but I think maybe because he wanted to defend himself. All these you are not supposed to say. The witness means the witness should not say what he or she thinks. The witness doesn't interpret things. The witness doesn't participate in whatever has happened. You understand? First, you have to understand the word witness. Then only you will understand what Bhagavan is going to say. You are just an observer. Even observer means this is what? Being an observer means what? Again, Being an observer means being a witness. Being a witness means being an observer. Simple. So you have to understand the meaning of the words. So you just see. That's all. Period. No ifs, no buts, no maybe. Oh, maybe could be. No. All that should not come. That is why the minute you say, I think he came because, the judge will say, we're not asking what you're thinking. Did you see him come or not? Yes or no? Yes. Over. Get out. Get out of the witness stand. That's all we want. Whether the person really came to defend oneself or to kill someone and all has to be found out only by cross questioning. That is why we have lawyers. Okay, they have to question you in such a way that the truth comes out, or they question you in such a way that the truth doesn't come out. It depends. Both the jobs are there for the lawyers, right? Either to bring the truth out or destroy the truth. So when a thought comes, what you do is you just be an observer. And when a child, I'm talking about small child, okay, is creating tantrum, you keep trying to discipline it or control it or pacify it, you know, but it doesn't listen. Then at some point, what happens? You get tired and fed up and exhausted, and you are agitated also. Why? Because first, one thing is you are agitated because this one is going on, creating, making noise, crying and screaming and shouting and throwing things and all that. Then this agitation is further growing because you are not able to control. You don't know what to do. And you feel so agitated, you get angry with yourself for not being able to do that because you feel helpless, you don't know what to do. That I'm not able to control this little one. Chah, this little one I can't control. That is really irritating, frustrating. So you end up being more agitated than before. But instead, this is many of your experience. Okay, I'm just giving your life experience so that you will understand whatever Bhagwan is talking about is not nothing new to you. Okay, so when say be a witness of your thoughts, how to be a witness, thought will come. No, that's why I'm giving an example. So what you do many times, you are quiet. The other one is shouting, screaming, throwing things, wow, 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 it's going. You are quiet. You are firmly quiet, not angrily quiet. You are firmly quiet. Okay. Because I told you, you should. If you are angry, then you are participating. If you are angry, you are participating in. You are along with that. You are affected, right? If you are affected, you are participating. If you are not affected, you are just an observer. You are just watching. You just observe. You don't interfere. Keep looking at the child. You have done this, right? You just simply watch. And what happens after some time? The other one gets tired. She no reaction. No fun. There is fun only when Amma reacts. Otherwise, there is no fun. So now there is no one to entertain the child, right? When you get angry, when you get irritated, the child has some entertainment. Now you are quiet. The child gets bored. And it leave everything and come to you. Have you noticed this? Your experience, right? So this is what is called being observer. Most of the time it works with your child, right? Most of the time. If it doesn't work, then if you're not angry, if you can still be an observer and go and give one patak. But if you're angry and give a patak, again you are a participant. If you're an observer and you're doing it only to deal with the situation, then it will become quiet. Gup chup kara bundi. Gup, it will sit. It will sit like this. Works with adults also. Okay. Yeah, it happens because we are dealing with other minds only, no? We are all dealing with minds only. So it will work. So from next time, the tantrum will not be there. Maybe for some other purpose, but still once this, if you learn how to deal with them like this, then they will slowly abhyasena to kaunteya. It will become calm. So you have to be an observer. That's what Bhagavan says. Be an observer. But if you are also disturbed, what happens? Then the situation is out of control. Now a third person has to come to deal with you. So just be an observer. Most of them, all thoughts are not really disturbing thoughts. Sometimes thoughts come. See, every time a thought comes, don't think that you are being disturbed. The nature of the mind is like that. Thoughts will come. But you don't go along with it. No? Similarly, when you observe the thought, when you're objective, when you just observe the thought goes away. But you pick the thought and then go, you go, then it's happy. Then it becomes bhutakara. Then meditation is over. You'll be meditating upon that. So you won't feel relaxed, definitely. Then you say, I did meditation, but I don't feel relaxed at all. You didn't do meditation in the first place. You were focusing on the problem. Whenever you focus on a problem, you are not relaxed, right? So you can't say, I did meditation. Meditation is where you calm the mind. If the mind gets more agitated, it was not meditation. So these thoughts come. Some memory of a person will come. Some pain will come. It's okay, let it come. Because those things pop up only when, because they are around, right? You allowed them to be around, they keep coming. When you have people at home, guests have come, right? Or somebody, some function, many people have come. You have to finish, give them whatever they have to give, you have to give, and they will go. But if you don't give, if you don't settle, they will be around, no? So you can't say why are they around. If you want them to go, you have to either ignore them or you just settle and they will go away. Exactly with the thoughts. If you have a pattern, then you see why that pattern is there. It is always the mind only reveals you. The mind doesn't reveal something other than you. It is you only, right? Whatever memories you have, it is about you only. So why should you hate your thoughts? If you hate your thoughts, then you are hating yourself. Why do you want to do that? Why should you hate yourself? You have enough people to hate you, right? So why do you want to? You make it easier for everyone. Okay, I will hate myself. Everybody love me. I will hate myself. I am so kind that I won't trouble you. I won't give you the pain. And you don't have to take the effort to hate me. I am enough to hate myself. So every thought is not a disturbing thought. You deal with those things and understand, and then definitely the mind, the nature of the mind. I told you, no, it's Shuddha. So here in the seat of meditation, so already I told you, right? You have to discover a distance between yourself and the thought. Remember, you have to. So distance in the sense when you are an observer, you will have a distance. If you participate, then you are being subjective. If you don't participate, you are objective. So you are neither disturbed by the thoughts, nor you don't even have to try to avoid the thoughts. You're okay. Don't come, don't come, don't come. I told you not to come. It will come. So you just say it's okay, okay. But you don't take it serious. Just be an observer. A sakshi. So don't have to be afraid of having thoughts during meditation. So we saw that meditation dhyana is for Atma Vishuddhi because it brings about a certain change on your part. What is that? When you become an observer, you can't be an observer unless you accept things as they are. I'm not talking about a murder, okay? I'm not saying just watch the murder, accept it as they are. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the thoughts. Why these thoughts are disturbing? Because I don't have an acceptance of what has happened. I keep fighting it, I keep resisting it. I think that all those things happened for no reason. It just happened. So we usually spend our lives fighting with the person is dead and gone, but still we are fighting, right? Accusing, crying, blaming. Unless we accept our past gracefully, a person cannot be peaceful. When something happened, you may be in pain, it has caused a lot of pain to you, you are angry and all that. But at some point, one has to understand that Ishvara is the karma paladata. My adrishta is playing. Was it because my adrishta was playing, or was the other person misusing their free will, ma'am? Okay, break your head. You're not going to get the answer. But if you insist on looking for an answer, you will be spending the rest of the life wondering what it was. That's my karma. I accept. Even if you think the other person misused their free will, do not take the responsibility of punishing them now itself. Leave it. I'm not saying that what they did was right. Not because you don't let go, not because what they did was right. You let go only because it's not going to help you in any way. You have to move on, right? Because the person whom you think has caused pain to you keeps moving on. But you are stuck in one place. That's why they say anger eats the person who holds it, right? It only eats you up. Why do you want it to eat you up? Sorrow also eats you up. A cancer. It's like a cancer. It eats you up. Actually, in hypnotherapy, they say cancer is also a manifestation of some thought. Something is eating you emotionally. So it manifests in the body. They say that. So unnecessarily don't hold all this. That is called garbage. You keep garbage. If you have garbage, it will stink only, right? Garbage, nature of the garbage is to stink. how much ever perfume you put, suddenly it will say, I am here. Then you have to hold your nose. It will show that it is there. It will make sure its presence is felt. So that's how the thoughts are also. See, we can't blame our own thoughts. So either be an observer and accept it as Ishvara, as the Karma Paladata. So you just let go of everything. That is the only way you can be peaceful. And also you need to have the intelligence to deal with the present also. Because the present will become the past one day and again. Every day becomes a past for you, right? Then again you are accumulating every day, every day, every day, every day. So graceful acceptance of Ishvara as the Karma Paladata is prayerful, is being prayerful. So prayerful meditation takes care of your raga dvesha. Most of the time, why we are not able to deal with certain things also comes from our own binding raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. I don't like this. We are not used to it. I can't. No way. So that is how it will go. People hold on to their likes and dislikes and they don't find a common ground where they can all be in harmony and work. Everybody has likes and dislikes, right? Somewhere, I won't say you have to make a compromise, but you have to find a way where everybody can really be happy, harmony. Sometimes if you have to give it up, it's okay because you're all also happy. But you don't give it up in a because what to do, I have to compromise. Somebody has to compromise. No, so I compromise for the sake of the family. Don't say that. I compromise for the sake of my family and I'm happy about it. Again, you have to bring Ishvara. I keep saying that. Many people who keep saying that, regretting, no, I wanted to be that, I could not be that, I wanted to do this, I could not do this. If only my father, if only my mother, if only my brother, if only my neighbor, if only my headmaster. The if only goes on and on. You have been everything, whatever you wanted to be in so many janmas. So if something didn't happen, then choose something else. Instead of living your whole life cursing and blaming. Some people come up in life, because somebody said you can't do and they will do. See, if the person didn't say you can't do, you wouldn't have done, right? So why blame that the person, he said I can't do. Then I proved. If the person didn't say anything, you wouldn't have done all this. So whatever you accomplish, you can't even be happy about whatever you accomplished. Because whatever you accomplished only reminds you of, it's a reminder of that pain. Then what is the point of accomplishing something? I did this only because they said that. So whatever you're doing, whatever you have achieved is only an expression of that anger towards that person. Instead, if you say, if that person had not said that, today I wouldn't be like this. I'm grateful to that person who whipped me up, because of which I found that I'm capable of all those things. Simple, whole thing changes, right? That is how you have to look at life. Instead of being angry and blaming people, then just in one shot you have peace of mind. What do you want to do? Simple. When we understand Ishvara as Karma Paladata, and when we see people as, of course, there are many other things where dharma in general has to be there in the society and all that. Let us not go into so deep into that subject, but this at an individual level, what you can do. That is what I'm talking about. In a normal day-to-day life, in a normal life. how you can. And what about the things happening around me? Why people are like this? Oh my God, what? Again, one has to be prayerful. When everybody is prayerful, definitely everything will change. People are not prayerful. You have to pray. Prayer as an action is different from having. Prayer is just an action, but prayerful is the attitude. Where you bring Ishvara, you understand Ishvara. There is a certain amount of understanding of the law of karma and the law of everything happening around you. And you look upon Ishvara with a certain knowledge of whom we call as Ishvara. So anyway, today's class, it was mainly about knowing that one has to deal with one's own raga dvesha, and it is possible when you bring in Ishvara as the karma paladata. Then a certain amount of peace will definitely be there. Okay, we'll see more in the next class. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ